Sameness, loss of interest, the thrill is gone. Ordinariness settles in and invisibly envelops people like stale air on a muggy night. We used to have fun, but now it's pretty much blah most of the time. Hi, Robert Bystrom here, and welcome to the Center for Expanding Possibilities, especially in the area of relating. Now, in the last video, we talked about how misunderstanding love is a major cause of relationship casualties, especially the belief in the great Beatles lie that all you need is love. No way. So today's conversation is about boredom and its causes and how to rid your relationships of it forever. Now, I promise that the answers will surprise you, and I will give you a 3-word formula that can forever change all of your relationships. And those 3 words are not "I love you." You see, boredom and all its variations of dullness, lack of engagement, lack of real play and fun, and no longer looking forward to discovering something new with your partner is a silent and invisible destroyer of closeness and true intimacy. You get the picture. So it's when you find yourself asking, where's the girl I first met and felt so wonderful with? What happened to the fun and the spark we used to have? Maybe I made the wrong choice. You might find yourself gravitating toward more TV, more YouTube, more Facebook, or more of your addiction of choice, or simply more time away from your partner for any old reason. The cultural promise of living happily ever after at this point possibly appears more like a really bad joke that some sick person made up. Now, that's not certainly true for all of you, but the gnawing suspicion that there simply has got to be more to life and relating than what you are currently tapped into is real and present for most people I have met in this culture. And I've had the opportunity of getting to know a lot of people and working with a lot of folks over the decades, so I speak with a fair amount of experience on the subject. Which is also why I am focused on the subject of personal communicating skills, especially for men. Now, if you look around, you might see that most people you know are pretty much in the same boat. It's not the universe's job to keep you entertained or titillated or interested. That was your mother's job when you were an infant, or your aunt's job, or your uncle's, people who delighted in seeing you light up and giggle. But it was your job growing up to allow your curiosity to grow for you and to be interested in the world around you and to develop that interest into being curious about the most fantastic of all creations, which is you and the people around you. But you see, our civilization is built on and depends on obedience and conformity. So its members, you and I, have been taught that we are horrible beings inside. And so self-exploration is not encouraged because that, you see, creates individuals. And individuals are much more difficult to control. But most people in this culture, possibly you as well, were not honored for your imagination and inquisitiveness and your innate desire to know and explore, but were encouraged instead and rewarded for obeying and standing in line and responding to the bells in school and for giving the right answers and for coloring inside the lines. Basically, you and I were rewarded for obeying. And for many parents, the pressures of daily living leave little time for providing the attention developing minds absolutely require. Now, I met a father recently who talked about his hyperactive 3.5-year-old daughter. When I met her, she wasn't hyperactive at all, but was energetically and enthusiastically wanting to know more about and explore everything around her and to be included. So what do some parents of normally energetic children do? Well, often they plunk them down in front of the TV or get them started on a life of medications, which are designed to calm them down and make them more manageable. So what we end up with is a society of adults who do not know how to use their inherent capacity to think and imagine and create and explore because the culture they grew up in focused on feeding them a constant thread of various forms of entertainment, distractions, and suppression. They have all but lost the capacity to know and explore themselves and the people around them, which have got to be the absolutely most fascinating aspects of an absolutely fascinating world. My nephew is a freelance video journalist who tells stories of people and events. His work has taken him around the world. Now, being in conversation with him is invariably refreshing and rewarding because he has mastered the art of interviewing. He is curious about everyone he encounters and knows how to ask questions that bring out what people want to divulge and to discover sides of themselves and their work that they want others to see and hear. At best, that's what exceptional relating is all about. It's all about endless curiosity, endless discovery, endless fascination with the depth of the other person. And it all begins with developing your ability to ask questions. Being curious is a lifelong journey and a lifestyle that benefits anyone. And in this culture, it includes the shocking awakening to the fact that many of us are in serious, serious recovery mode. But my God, the rewards of an awakened sense of curiosity are truly unbelievable. Now, I'm going to tell you the fundamental skill for banishing boredom forever. The secret is to be the intrepid interviewer like my nephew and developing your ability to ask questions which bring out what wants to emerge from people. And it's not always happy and fun. Curiosity, by the way, is the first of the 7 dimensions of communicating and is a course of study all on its own. The point I want you to get here is to think about what was so great about the first time you got to know the person you're with. It was mutual exploration. Where's she from? Where did she go to school? What is she up to these days? What does she like to do with her spare time? And her body is new. But then you reach the end of getting to know her and you're supposed to live happily ever after. Bad joke. The exploring slowed down and you reached your capacity for curiosity. Well, now I know her and I already know everything I want to know about me because I'm pretty messed up in here. Let's talk about the Seahawks. Let's talk about the weather. Let's talk about the problems that have been plaguing my mother. At that point, all of life becomes entertainment and distractions. So where do you begin recovering and expanding your curiosity? Here are the 3 words I promised you at the beginning of the video. What is important? What is important to your partner today? What is important to your 3.5-year-old daughter right now? What is important to you? What's important to your customers? What is important is a question which will always generate fresh thinking and fresh insights. So as a heads up, keep a lookout for my upcoming training for men in the 7 dimensions of communicating and for the brand new blog, Ground Up Men. And watch for the next proven secret for creating terrible relationships, which is misunderstanding anger. So until we meet again, be curious and keep breathing.